Senator Menéndez.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. It was a bittersweet hearing for me. My hermano, as we call each other, my brother, is going to go serve the nation. He's going to leave the Senate, where he has served with such distinction, and for those of us who are Americans of Hispanic descent, it reduces our ranks by one, but I know we're going to have a strong advocate in the administration. Now, I may not be a Westerner, Senator Salazar, but that doesn't make our part of the nation immune to the impact of the Interior Department. And so I have some provincial questions I want to ask you, but before that, I want to ask you an overarching question. I've heard you talk about energy, both as a member of this committee and in this new assignment. How do you see your role in this galaxy of energy advocates? How do you see the role of Carol Browner versus the role that you're going to play, and what role do you see yourself playing in this respect?
Thank you, Senator Menéndez, and I too will miss you greatly because we've done so many things over the years, and we'll frankly have an opportunity to work on so many issues in the future. You are an hermano, a brother, and I will never forget that. I will also say formally in front of this committee for the transcript of this hearing that Bob Menéndez speaks both English and Spanish a lot better than I do. And so you're not losing anything in terms of linguistic proficiency with my departure.
I hope you're not filibustering on my questions, my provincial questions.
Having said that, on your, let me just, one observation and then a response to your question. I would hope that one of the things that you can do, Senator Menéndez and the rest of this committee, is not to look at this department as a department of the West, because it is not. It is as much a department of the Statue of Liberty and Ellis Island as it is the department that oversees the BLM lands of New Mexico. And I think for far too long, this department has been seen as something off to the west. I want us to change that image and that brand for the Department of Interior, and I think this committee and on the Democratic side and the Republican side is a primary engine of helping us change that reality of what the Department of Interior is, whether it's with respect to historic preservation or the OCS or a whole host of other issues. So I would hope that you can help me do that. Secondly, with respect to your specific question on my role, in my conversation and my agreement with the President-elect is I report to him. The President-elect asked me to leave this United States Senate post to help him change the world. I believe he can change the world, and I believe he is a transformational figure that can help get that done. But I work for him, and that means that I will play a keystone role in helping craft the energy agenda. I would not have taken this job if I was not given the assignment to help craft the energy moonshot that we will take, in part through the economic stimulus package that will be crafted, and then through energy legislation that will hopefully be before this Congress before too long. So that's the kind of robust role that I intend to play. It's a kind of robust role that was offered to me in this position.
Well, I appreciate and look forward to that. Now, let me get to some specific issues that I want to have you. Will you make a commitment to come with me after you're settled in to the New Jersey, New York region? We have two issues. The crown of the Statue of Liberty since September 11th has been held to a bureaucratic shackle. To your credit, you offered an amendment that the President-elect voted for to free up the Statue of Liberty, including the crown. So I hope you will come after you're the Interior Secretary with me to the Statue of Liberty, help me break the shackles on the crown, as well as to Ellis Island, which is next door, where we have a public-private partnership going on to restore the whole section of the island that, in fact, is in New Jersey territorial waters as a result of a Supreme Court decision that was our whole public health system, where immigrants who came through at that time went through there. But we've gotten some money to sustain it because it was totally ready to fall apart. But we have a public-private partnership. It has languished with the National Park Service. You know, we could get a very significant commitment from the private sector to go in. So I hope you will come with me after you're settled in. Let us free the crown. I'm sure there's an intelligent way to do that. for some type of limited access to it. Let us make sure that that public-private partnership works so that we can restore the whole access to Ellis Island on the side. And then finally, I hope, as you know, I'm in the minority on this committee on this issue, but it is critical to my state in terms of the issue of offshore drilling. New Jersey's second part of its economy is driven by tourism, and that tourism would not take place except for the New Jersey shore. Several years ago, we had medical wasteland on our beaches, and that created a huge problem for our economy for several years. So I hope that you will work with us and give coastal states like mine a seat at the table as we move forward on the question of what is appropriate in offshore drilling and what is not.
Senator Cantwell.
I'd be happy
Mr.
to
Chairman,
respond.
Oh, yes, Senator Salazar, did you wish to respond?
Thank you.
Go right ahead.
I noticed that his time was up. That's why I looked to you for permission.
I see. I thought you were looking for me to move on to the next question.
let me just
No,
respond,
no,
if I may, Chairman.
disrespect.
On,
I'm well aware of that.
let me first say that with respect to Ellis Island and the Statue of Liberty, first I do commit to coming with you to New Jersey and New York and visiting those sites and understanding more about why those restrictions were put into place. I don't know enough about why those restrictions were put into place, but we will frankly examine those together and make the appropriate decisions on how we move forward. I understand the historicity and great importance of Ellis Island, and we'll make sure that that's a priority in terms of how we move forward in my department. Let me on your last point, which I think is the one that I have seen you get passionate about, at least